Morning guys, just thought I just got home sort of thing, so whilst I'm waiting for the rain to abate before I go out for a run, thought I'd do a quick rundown on nutrition. Now I'm not a nutritionist no more than I am a coach, as you know, so this is just how I use nutrition, or the nutrition that I use, why I use it, and that's it. There's an awful lot of nutritions out there, specialists and products, etc. So there's plenty more than what I use, but this is all done for a reason. There's obviously two types of stuff here, as well as supplements, but I'll do that at a different time because it's going to take a little while probably. So first part of nutrition for me is basically on a daily basis, is every morning. So initially we have protein, which I prefer to clear. It's a little bit cleaner to drink, sort of thing, more or less like a squash as opposed to making milkshakes, although I know you can mix whey protein with water, etc. But still, this seems to work better for me, or taste better and feel better, sort of thing. Creatine is another daily sort of thing, regardless of whether I'm training or not. I'll take a scoop of creatine. It's only 3 grams, so not a great deal. An awful lot of research done. It's probably the most researched supplement on the market now. I can remember years ago when it first came out, and they used to have to cycle it, so you would take it for a few weeks and then stop because it was said to possibly cause diabetes, etc., because of the sugar, but not so as such now, sort of thing. So it's quite a big deal, and it's probably more popular now and more encouraged for women than it is for blokes, sort of thing, but it was always a bloke thing to start off with, obviously big hench squeezes in the gym. So there's that, and then the other thing, daily start, is the beet its. So I remember taking this years ago when I was doing a lot of cycling, triathlon, Ironman training, etc., because it had just come on the market and it was a big thing about endurance, but I just took it because everybody else wanted, because that was the push, sort of thing, but never really looked into it and just used to just take one per day. But more recently I decided to start again with it, with the new one, which would be this one, and then obviously there's a lot more information on the internet now than what there was when it started reading into it, and then taking it daily. But on the lead up to the last race in November, then I took 2 a day for the week leading into the race. And unfortunately for me, I don't keep a diary. I run a diary of I did this, I tried this, I've done that, and results, etc., which I wish I hadn't done, because I'm now going to have to step back and do some more tests for me. But it worked really well. But also I did a change with my gel strategy as well, so it could have been either, or it could have been a mix of the two, but I need to do a little bit of looking back into that. The only one thing I would say about this is careful how you drink it. I can remember years ago when I first started drinking it, I was then going out on the bike for a long ride. I'd loaded the bike with all my drinks and everything else, all my pockets were full, and then I stood in my recently extended kitchen, all redone, white wall units and everything, undid this, and then threw it down my neck. And as I threw it down my neck, I threw it a bit hard maybe, and it went straight down the wrong hole. And the cough that it produced, the reflex, I just covered the ceiling and the units, sort of thing. So my favourite position for drinking this now is just through the utility, looking at next door's fence. So just in case it coughs and comes back up again, they can deal with it. So but that's it for that. But it is, so far for me, it's been a really good product. I'll be discussing it more tomorrow here with the people who make it, because I'm going to the running show and they're going to be there. So that's that. Outside of that, for the dailies, so my staple morning stuff, then I move on to the electrolytes and gels. Obviously, your hydration is really important, and my favourite stuff, as you'll see, there's a fair bit there from Precision Hydration. But Precision Hydration, I did a sweat test probably 2016, 2017, and it's really, I sweat not an over amount for a person, but the sweat is really concentrated sodium. So 1167 milliliters per litre, I believe, if I remember rightly, which is borderline high. So what you find that happens if you're not careful, if you're not compensating for it, is you're going through whatever it is, your marathon or whatever, and you're sweating out your stocks of sodium, which is one of your main electrolytes, and you're replacing it maybe with just water because that's what you've got with you, or squash or whatever it is, sort of thing. But if it's not containing sufficient sodium, all you're doing is further diluting your system. You'll only drop 2 to 4%, and you're going to notice it in your fatigue, sort of thing. So it's really going to become apparent, and it's going to be too late as well. So I learned that pretty early on, and so I stick with this. So you get these come in different sizes, from 250 ml per litre, 500s, 1000s, 1500s. These are in like a dissolvable tablet you just drop into your bottle, and they also do them in sachets, sort of thing. But there are plenty of others. Another one who do a similar thing is this one, which is quite recent to the market, Pure Sport. But this is just a mild citric flavour. These are flavoured salted watermelon, salted raspberry, and salted something else, salted citric. I'm not overly impressed. I got them just to see if there was a change, just so that we have a different taste on my mouth, sort of thing, when you're drinking all of the time. But yeah, not overly impressed with the taste, but that's just me. The actual product, there's only 1000 ml in that sodium, as opposed to the 1500s that I prefer in a tablet, but still, it's a reasonable product. So yeah, take them. The other thing with that I like with Precision Hydration stuff is the capsules. Now these are only $2.50 per capsule. You get them in a blister pack, or come in a nice little box. You can buy loads of them. But what I found, what I started using them last year, when I realised that they actually made them, was because I'm not carrying drinks with me, sort of thing. I just don't do that. So when I'm running a marathon, you're just taking bottles of water from the drink stands. You get a swig of water, throw the bottle, carry on. But you're diluting your system, as I said before. So to carry these, and I had a Salomon Pulse belt on, and I had a couple of these strips of these blister packs, sort of thing. And just coming up, you can see the drink station approach. Just pull a strip out, bust out a couple of capsules. You've got 500 milligrams of sodium there, and you're roughly 20 minutes, 30 minutes between each station. But you can check that on a route course before you start your race, so you know exactly how many you want to take. Put them in your mouth, take a swig of water, a couple of swigs of water, throw the bottle away, but you've got your sodium in and your water, so you're in good shape. And so that's why I like them. The other thing that I said when I said about using these for the last race was the gels. So the Precision, the Carb 30s, this one's got caffeine in, this one doesn't. And I watched early November time, I watched, as I do quite a lot, Paula Radcliffe podcast, and the podcast is sponsored by High Five, and they had one of the High Five personnel on the podcast discussing gels, what's in them, how to take them, what's doing to you, what you're doing with the gel, and what's happening to your system as you're depleting everything, sort of thing. And I used to take them around 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but it was never written in stone. It was just something that a number maybe that I just plucked out of thin air and just thought, well, that's it, so I'm taking gels. But you've got to take a gel for a reason, and it wasn't. I was watching this, that the lady that was talking about them said that it needs 20 minutes for one of these to get into your system, and then 20 minutes and it's possibly out of your system. So that then made me think, wow, so the 30-minute strategy that I've been using is not working, and it's probably why I'm starting to feel fatigue, because I'm already going into fatigue before I'm taking the next one, and then I've got to wait for it to start to act before you feel any benefit from it. So I changed the strategy at the race when I was taking the Beat-Its to one every 20 minutes. I took one 20 minutes before the start, didn't help that the start was delayed 10 minutes, so I had to do a bit of maths every time as I was running, sort of thing. But still, it's quite simple. Put them in my pockets, and every 20 minutes I took one of them, and because I didn't do any previous testing, so I don't really have any good detail on it, I couldn't say exactly which was more beneficial, both of them, one of them, or one or the other, or whatever. But I took 10 minutes out of my time that I've been running in for the last 2 or 3 years, sort of thing. So 135 on a really poor, cold, wet day was a real good result for me, sort of thing. And unfortunately, I don't know why it was, sort of thing. So next week when I'm racing again, I was just taking it all, and then after that, I'm going to start trying to do some trials for me. How you do the trials on the markers, whatever, I don't really know, but I'll work out something that I can at least see what it does for me, sort of thing. So that's my racing stuff there. On the way to the racing, Morton's is another good product that I've been using on and off since about 2016, I think, when they started, or 2017. But yeah, really good. And something like a carb mixer, this is quite a strong one, it's 320. Then I mix a couple of bottles up and I'll drink them on the way to a marathon or wherever, just so I know I'm definitely preloaded with as much carb as I can get in my neck, sort of thing. They also do their gels with caffeine or without, the black ones without precision hydration. It used to be, it's now precision fuel and hydration, I believe. But again, more drinks from depending on how strong you make that concentration, between 30 and 120 grams per litre for a carb drink, sort of thing, which is a fair strong carb drink, sort of thing. So that's another good part there. Race wise, I bought some stuff before I was doing the Yorkshire Marathon, sort of thing, and then I decided it wasn't really marathon friendly, it wasn't going to help me, sort of thing. But it's another product by Morton's, and it's the bicarbonate system. So you get a sachet. It's quite an expensive system, but you get a sachet with little pellets in it, about the size of I can never remember the word of that. It's women's contraceptive pills, sort of thing. Each of them little pills that are in there, about the same size as one of them, but they're like a sugar coated. This is it makes like a Solvite wallpaper paste in the little pot. So we stick this into there with 200 grams of 200 water, give it a good shake, and then 15 minutes before you're ready to take it, throw these into it, stir it around with a spoon, and then eat it like a porridge or whatever. Do not crunch the tablets, just swallow everything whole, just take it all in. It's a bit of a long-winded system in that you need to take this at least an hour after you've had a breakfast. So if you do a parkrun or something and you fancy yourself, you start taking this, then this is like a lactic buffer, sort of thing, so you can really push on for short, intense races. So you take that, and then you need to have taken this an hour and a half to 2 hours before your race, sort of thing. So you need to be up early in the morning. I didn't think it was right for the marathon once I started reading about it, because it's the intense racing. Marathon isn't. I'd have already just wasted this on the first couple of miles, and then I'd be running on flat on something else. So, but I did use it for a couple of park runs late last year, just to see how it would go with me, because bicarbonate is quite a volatile product. So if anybody's ever taken it the other way, but it can be very upsetting in your stomach. But the slow release that's allowed because of the sugar coating or the coating that's on it helps with this, and I guess that's what you're paying for, sort of thing. So it was good. I ran 2 fast for me park runs, got 2 decent times, and still my legs still felt good, sort of thing, when you're coming in, instead of the usual tying up and your stride getting shorter, etc. And you get in there at the end and you're really battling. So it worked well for me in that way. But like I say, you don't have to take it like that. You could actually, if you just want to do it on a budget, you can go to Tesco's and buy bicarbonate and mix a spoonful up into a solution and then take it that way. I wouldn't advise it, or I'd advise you do it the first time, maybe in your garden or something, because it's quite volatile. To say that wouldn't be sugar coated in Tesco's. it's not going to be, it's potentially not going to be a pleasant situation. Depends on how strong your stomach is, sort of thing. But I'm great. My stomach's like cast iron. I can take all of these gels and anybody else's gels. I don't have to pre-train with them. I've never had an issue like that, sort of thing, which is good. But yeah, don't ever do anything on race day that you haven't practiced in training. So that's it with the stuff there. The bicarb, say, it's very good. It's a bit of an expensive system, but if it's working for you and you're doing a lot of 5Ks, it might be beneficial to you. Minstrel, which is a gel that I've seen recently, but I don't really know much about them. They do a bicarb gel, so it's a gel which is a ratio of carbs to bicarb, sort of thing. So another possible way of taking it. As I say, I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about any other sort of services. I've just got one of these today, Zuki, that came free with these, but I'll leave that in a pot somewhere for anybody else to take who wants it. And that's it. So that's your race day or your training, long runs and stuff like that. Then we go to the recovery. Now the recovery is a bit, I'm enjoying that one, this SIS Beta Recovery. Now I can remember years ago, SIS also do the Rego, but the Rego was didn't quite work with me, sort of thing. It's a mixture of protein and carbs, sort of thing, but that used to be like, I don't know if you ever worked with or been with anybody who's on a lot of protein, and the wind, etc., is not particularly pleasant, sort of thing. And the Rego used to be really bad, but this stuff has no effects like that, so I've been quite impressed with that, and that's worked well so far. It's good. It's a nice drink at the end of a run. Strawberry flavour, works well, mixes easy, and that's good. So that's it for me. That's all good. But yeah, so that's just my nutrition. As I say, I'm not telling you how to take your nutrition or what to take your nutrition. There's an awful lot of manufacturers out there, but I thought I'd just go over that. But so yeah, that's it. So tomorrow off to the running show to see what I can see. Buy maybe, if I'm a good boy and the missus lets me, but we'll see. Alright, thanks very much.